All right, Coach
Oh.
Bandstra's back. Yay!
How you doing, Coach?
I'm just fantastic.
Oh God,
I told you I'm Joe Rogan now. I just don't introduce. Like
you're fine. You're good.
I
Like
have it. I have
we
it written down here. Coach Bandstra, you're the OC at Kenton Ridge High School. Is that right? Saying
correct.
right? Yeah.
So you need to get like a little studio like he has, and then that just start setting up weird stuff in the background.
I
Um,
thought about it in the spare room. I thought about doing something.
and just start having people over and just setting it up and just be good to go.
That would be the dream to do like a Pat McAfee during the day, coach, and then do a Joe Rogan thing at night.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
I mean that is fantastic, and what they both have done. Like I love listening to McAfee's highlights. I don't catch nearly as much Joe Rogan stuff since he went to Spotify, just because I just don't see it on there anymore, as at least the YouTube highlights and all that other stuff as much as it was, and I'm just too lazy to get on Spotify. In all honesty, that is really the only reason I don't watch his stuff as much is just laziness.
Well, I love on Spotify it has this video,
Yeah,
so I still watch it.
I think the last one I watched, and I don't even think I watched all of it, was one where he talked to the Undertaker. I think that's the last true actually Rogan I actually listened to, and I got maybe a third of the way through it. I'd never gone back to it because I didn't have time. Um, but I think that's the last true one I listened to on Spotify. Um, and then, like I said, McAfee, I'll watch his highlights every now and then. I think the only thing McAfee I've watched like full length is his first round of the NFL draft. That's how I don't have TV. I just have YouTube. I think we have HBO Max now because we just switched phone providers, and then like Paramount Plus or whatever the hell that my wife uses
Mhm.
that. Um, so that's how I watched the draft. I just watched it through McAfee and I loved it. Like it, and honestly, I thought it was a better experience than normal because I'll have all those talking heads and they're BSing about something, and you got his stooges playing personalities. He had like three people live call in that played for the teams, and like, okay, this is great, it's perfect. So, like I said, that I think that was to me that was a better draft experience watching him and AJ talk during the draft than watching on the NFL Network.
Yeah, we used Sling. Then we
Okay,
just got AT&T TV. And then we just got the HBO Max. But I didn't watch the draft. I didn't want to watch the Bears screw it up, so I didn't watch it.
well, like I kind of have to because I teach a business and sports class, so like that's content. That I mean
Oh, that's true.
we talked about the draft that week, and I mean, when it was at Nashville, you had $224 million in combination of revenue for spending in the city and taxes that year generated. So we talk about stuff like that. So like it's content. I had kids make mock drafts for class, see who's most accurate, which will actually grade this week. I haven't had a chance to go through them. All of the kids hand grade them. Um, but that is, I mean, it's content for my class. So that I've always enjoyed watching it. I've watched my Bengals slowly watch my Bengals just disappoint me at the soul, um, and just yeah, it's always interesting to watch. I like it for more of the strategy part of why are you trading up, why are you trading down, what does team development look like? Like I think the Lions blew it away, and I love their new head coach. Their new
Hmm.
like if you watch the behind the scenes with the Lions, oh my, it is great stuff.
Um, it was real funny when I did my Sunday show. We were looking at it, and someone goes, "Steve, look at the Seahawks here. Scroll, and you see all these picks. Seahawks three. You only had three picks, and that was it."
Yeah,
And I laughed, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the Atlanta Falcons got an A plus, I think.
yeah. I don't even know who the Falcons got. No, oh yeah, oh no, they got what's his face, Pitts,
Pitt,
right?
they got Pitts. They
Yeah,
drafted some defense. Now they have like Jones, Ridley, Pitts, Matt
yeah,
Ryan.
that's right.
So if they can't win games,
Like, they're supposedly like because I didn't watch football the past calendar year as much as I had, just because I think I've done so much of this that of podcasting and all that. I wasn't as interested in watching. The Bengals were bad last year, so I wasn't nearly as motivated. I usually watch more college football at this point than anything, anyways. Um, But like from my understanding, the Falcons' problem was not their offense; it was their defense. So I mean, I understand you want to outscore people in the NFL, and it's great, but like make sure you're taking care of that defense because that's how you. I mean, in the end, you need to at least play at least top 15 defense to win a championship. I mean, the Chiefs found that out a couple of years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can't play defense, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to win that championship game to get in the Super Bowl. So, and that helped them this year get in there, but then they ran into Mr. Magic himself, the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Yeah, the Falcons drafted defense. They just took Pitts first. You just couldn't pass them up. But then Trask went to the Buccaneers, right? Kyle
Yes,
Trask.
it was in the second round, beginning of third. That sounds right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that'll. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's almost like another like Ryan Mallett. Here's a guy. We'll have him for a little bit, and then we'll trade him, and then somebody else will be the heir apparent. Like, I don't. I like Trask, but I don't think he's your next guy necessarily. I could be wrong.
We said this on Sunday. He's like a Ryan Tannehill. You just need a guy to make short passes, hand the ball off, and roll out here and there. That's all you need.
But I don't think that can win you a championship anymore. That's the problem. Like, I think that can get you to playoffs. I mean, but I don't think the Trent Dilfer style quarterback can win you a championship anymore. Because you're not going to play that level. It'll be extremely rare to play that level of defense ever again. So
that's true.
Like, I mean, I would love it. Like, and I like Ryan Tannehill. I still say Ryan Tannehill, and a lot of people forget this. Him playing receiver at Texas A&M his freshman and sophomore year, dude was a stud. Like, and that, I mean, he as a freshman sophomore, I think had like over 2,000 yards receiving total in those 2 years, and he was just a freaking major. And then he moved back to quarterback because what's his face? I don't remember who was before him. I think it was Steven something. I don't even remember. And then he moved back to quarterback because he was recruited as a quarterback and had 2 good years. Went to the NFL. So he's had a solid career. So,
yeah. Then the Bears take Fields.
how is that? I'll ask this because you're a Bears fan and I don't know. How is that any different than Mitchell Trubisky?
That's what on Sunday.
That's what.
Me and Coach West are not a fan of this pick. Like, it wasn't a terrible pick, is what we traded to get him.
Yeah.
Now, it came out that Minnesota was going to take him at 14, so we, like, lucked out. That's what we said. We were talking about, like, how fast Justin Fields is and this and that. We're like, but Mitchell's fast. Like, how is this going to be different?
I think Mitchell is I think Fields is probably a more athletic version of Mitchell. I'm guessing. But from a style of play standpoint, their quarterbacks you're going to roll out of the pocket. You're going to run a lot of play action pass within the NFL. They're not pocket quarterbacks. And correct me if I'm wrong because you're a Bears fan. Matt Nagy likes pocket quarterbacks.
Yep.
That's it. That's his personal preference. So I just from a style point, I don't know how that's going to be any different. And I said that in business sports class. I'm like, I like Justin Fields. I just don't know if that is necessarily the best placement for him. I could be wrong. Who knows? Matt Nagy could just use him perfectly the next 2, 3, 4 years, and they win a bunch of games and be great. But I don't know. Like to me, it's just Mitchell. It's just another version of Mitchell Trubisky.
Don't tell me we're gonna have Matt Nagy for 3 or 4 more years. I don't want to hear.
Well, I don't know what to tell you there. I'm not a Bears fan. All I know is I am a Bengals fan that has a quarterback with a 12-inch scar on his knee. And thankfully, they've rehired one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL, Frank Pollock. I was very, very happy about that. And I have high hopes for that portion of the field. Even though maybe they didn't do as many additions as I personally would want. I like Penny Sewell, who went against the Lions. But I really like Frank Pollock. And my hope, well, let me rephrase this. If something goes wrong this year and they do make a change, I hope they promote Frank Pollock to see if he can do it. I know they won't, but he's one of the best offensive line coaches in the league, and gives some offensive line coaches some love.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Bears though, because well, no, you like we have new coaches too. The Bengals didn't do too bad after Joe Burrow went down. They were in some games.
Yeah, but they're always in games, and then they lose them or they win them, and then you win too many games at the end of the year, so you end up with the 5th pick instead of the 1st pick. And what? Yes, I know, I get it, I do, but I know having a top 3 pick wouldn't have changed anything for the Bengals because they weren't going to take one of the quarterbacks. But I'm one of those greedy people that, and I know the Bengals don't trade down outside maybe once in a draft, and it's like a late round pick in exchange for 2 more late round picks. I get it. But I have read too many stories of the years of what the Bengals have turned down pick-wise and just gotten depressed. Like the Ricky Williams trade. That deal was offered the Bengals before it was offered. Okay. What's it called? Who took it? That's like, and you turn that down and you're just amazed and saddened at the same time. Them turning down 1st-round picks for Chad Johnson. Like, and like I understand he was a Pro Bowl receiver. I get it. But you weren't winning a championship with him. Like, and yeah, guess what? You could have 1st-round pick from Washington. Okay. And one of the few times when they've done a good job trading is when they rated the Oakland Raiders for 1st-round picks for Carson Palmer. Like, that was fantastic. But like, I just, at this point, like, did they have an okay draft? The more I look at it, yes, I was a lot angrier on that weekend than I am now. But still, like that offensive tackle from Oregon is a stud. And that's just my 2 cents. Like, he is just a freak of nature that would have fit perfectly here. So that's just my opinion. Whatever.
I'm in the same boat. The Bears always draft bad. They draft what they don't need. Besides the Justin Fields, I was pleased. They got 2 offensive linemen. They got rid of Leno Jr., who spent more time on his knees every block. I watched more Bears games this year than I ever have, and every other run play was on his knees.
Yeah.
Every time. So we got rid of him, which, whatever. We got to get rid of Jimmy Graham because his contract. But yeah, I don't know Justin Fields because I told people in 2018 the reason why the Bears were good is because with Mitchell Trubisky, rollouts, zone reads, power reads, short passes.
Yeah.
And then take a shot every now and then.
I mean, that year play calling, he did a fantastic job play calling for Mitchell Trubisky. Like, it was perfect. Like, they were like 10-6 that year. They did a great job. And I don't know what happened since. I'm not gonna pretend to know, but like, I think, like I said, if you use Justin Fields like you use Mitchell Trubisky that one year, then you could have a lot of success personally. But we'll see. I read a report today, like a quarter of the NFL had Justin Fields as their number 1 quarterback on the board, even above Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if that's true, but I read that report today. And if it is, good for the Bears. Don't mess it up.
Well, then it made, because then Maggie comes out and he goes, "We drafted, now we have to develop." And I'm like, what were you doing the past 3 years? Like, and then everybody's on board with Pace and Nagy again. I'm like, no, like, don't trust them. Yeah, they drafted well finally, but don't trust them yet. And then you have Andy Dalton, who's going to start for a quarter, and then they're going to bring in Justin Fields. Like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I will say this, as a frustrated Bengals fan, Andy Dalton is a good bridge for you guys. Like, he is. He is a good bridge to help develop somebody. He's experienced in the league. He's smart. He'll work hard. He's like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a solid quarterback you can put out there. Are you going to win a Super Bowl with him? Probably not. Who knows? You never know. But you'll see.
I don't know. Only because we don't know because of what we trade. We trade our number 1 pick next year and then that 3rd rounder this year. So we said if that number 1, our 1st-round pick next year is a top 5 or 10 pick, we traded too much because now And then I got in the argument on Sunday because me and my one friend were on the same page. My other one, he's like, "Oh, we have to be positive about this. I like Justin Fields." I said, "Would have been so bad to keep our picks this year, and we get Trask or something later on." It wasn't like there was no quarterback to take.
Yeah, there's three solid late second, early third rounders. You had Trask, Mound, and who's a Stanford kid? Can I remember his name?
Yeah, I don't remember his name. He
Yeah,
came out of nowhere.
And there's a Stanford guy. There are three solid guys that could have you possibly develop into something. And so I don't know. Like I get your point, but we also got to remember this is a weird draft year because of COVID. Like,
are you guys tired of overpaying for your cable? Do you think, oh, I need to go to the streaming side so I can save some money? Are you tired of taking out a small loan to pay for the cable just to watch things? There's so many streaming services. Do you not know or are having a hard time pick which streaming service? Well, lucky for you, the Coach Steve Show, which is on the Unhinged Sports Network, have a proud partnership with Fubo TV. Fubo TV has over 100 plus channels. They have NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, ESPN, much more without the hassle of that cable contract. If you don't believe me, go to the link in the bio. You can get a 7-day free trial today. So if you click on the link in the bio of the episode, you can get a free 7-day trial to support the Unhinged Sports Network, to support the Coach Steve Show podcast. Please use that link. Guys, it's time to cut the cord. Streaming services is where it's at. Get the internet, get the streaming service. You can, if you don't like it, get rid of it, but I think you're going to like it. That's why there's a 7-day free trial. Cut the cord. Quit taking out small loans to pay for this cable network. Please don't let these cable people trick you into getting into a 3-year contract, 2-year contract, and raising your rates. Go to Fubo TV. Best way to watch all the sports, any shows that you watch. So please support the show. Go click on the link now. Try it out for 7 days free. Cut the cord. As you guys know, the Coach Steve Show is also brought to you by the Unhinged Sports Network. The Unhinged Sports Network is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, nonstop playing radio podcast about any sport that you guys can imagine. They have a proud partnership with Fanatics. So if you go to the link in the description, go to Fanatics, use that link, and go get some gear to support the Coach Steve Show and to support the Unhinged Sports Network. They have deals all the way up to 70% off. They have deals for free shipping. And they have every single sports team you could think of. Your college team is going to be on there. Your professional team is going to be on there. They have good deals on jerseys, T-shirts, hats, socks, anything you want. So please use the link in the description to go to fanatics.com. Save big on your team's gear to help support the Unhinged Sports Network and to support the Coach Steve Show.
I mean, at least last year's class, even though the combine was affected by COVID, you at least had a full season of playing. This year, I mean, hell, most of the MAC played somewhere between 4 and 6 games. Pac-12 played somewhere between 4 and 6, essentially. I mean, you'd have the country not play a full season.
Yeah, I just watched a lot of Justin Fields this year watching the Big Ten because of the podcast, because we were doing every Sunday.
Yeah.
Justin Fields did what he was supposed to do against bad teams. The Big Ten was not very good. Whipped Nebraska, put a lot of yards up. Whipped Michigan State. They were terrible. They got scared against Illinois and canceled because of COVID, apparently, but they were just scared of Illinois. I understand. But you play a good defense like a Northwestern, he struggled.
Yeah, he did.
You play, and then if you looked at every game, his running backs had 150 yards apiece.
Yeah. Oh, it helped. He had 2 really good running backs. There's no doubt about that.
Because I know you watch Ohio State more than I do. Who was the wide receiver for them this year? That was really good.
Olave. Olave was the stud that didn't play against Northwestern, and then he struggled against Northwestern. I know that puts some red flags up. I don't disagree with that. That game especially. Like if you're going to have a game that puts up red flags, it's the Northwestern game.
That one in Indiana. That one in Indiana where he throws 3 picks.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Now I will say the Indiana game in defense, about a third of the starting lineup for Ohio State offensively and defensively was out with COVID. So it was like a pillaged squad, like to the point. I think they were missing like 3 linemen, several defensive players. Like that was a little asterisk. And like I said, I will give the Indiana staff, and I've talked to a couple of them, credit. They have a fantastic staff that's done a great job there, developing that program. And then you just say the same thing about Northwestern. Pat Fitzgerald, like if he was at any other Big Ten or big time school, would be competing for national titles every year. He just would. He people don't realize what Northwestern's like Stanford.
Yeah.
Your best case most years is typically 7 or 8 games. He's won in 10. That's what what's his face Harbaugh did at Stanford, and what's her face their current guy did the first couple years. Like it's the Vanderbilt of the league, and it's an extremely highly academic. And it's not an easy job, and Pat Fitzgerald is a stud, and he's made some staff changes the past couple years, but he has done a fantastic job at building a program. Speaking of staffs, I mean, do you like your new staff there at the Illini?
I love it. I don't know. I love it. We've talked about on the Sunday thing too. Big Illini fans. Basketball was great this year. We're excited for football. Like we were excited for Lovey, but that was different. That was like, oh, the name.
Yeah.
Bielema's doing the right things right now. He's like all in. He is all in. He's hired different operations people for Illinois that's never been there before. He started like a walk-on thing that Illinois never had. He wants walk-ons to come in. Illinois never had that.
Is he originally from Illinois, or is he right over the border in Iowa or whatever? Where's he?
He's originally in Illinois.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He grew up in Illinois, close to Iowa. But like he played high school football in Illinois. He said his mom claimed that she found this thing where he said he wanted to go to the U of I, but he wasn't smart enough, so he had to go to Iowa or something. And now, when he first got hired, people like claimed like, hopefully he's not using this to like go coach at Iowa, like to get back in the Big Ten and go to Iowa. So we've been very careful about how he says things, but his actions have just been like all Illinois. He even hired his football coaches called every high school coach in Illinois. Like they were just all in. And I watched their spring game a little bit until they went under center, then I turned it off. But no, they're just a multiple. They're not a pro style. They're going to be multiple. They're going to double tight and go under center and do that. But it just looked very competent. Like our offense never had an identity. And watching this, I'm like, this has an identity. Their defense has an identity. He's going to cater to what the athletes can do because he wants to run a 3-4 like on defense. Yeah. But he came in and was like, hired the Missouri defensive coordinator. And he's like, if we can't run this defense, we're not going to. We'll run something else. Yeah.
I'll say this. I know his O-line coach, who I've had on my channel, is awesome. Bart Miller is a stud. And
he's from Illinois.
Yeah, I think that was a fantastic hire. I said a lot of his guys, they're not like flashy names, but they're all like, you look at all their track records, they're all just good coaches. They're just good coaches. And kind of to your point, like, I mean, I think a lot of us were hesitant, like looking at is that fit? And then you see the actions. Your state association president said he got called in 24 hours? At a school like that, that's what you need to do. You can't let people leave your state. Like you can't be losing people. Like that is a non-negotiable. You got enough schools to compete with. You can't be losing stuff to out-of-staters.
And he got people to decommit from other schools already to come back to Illinois, and then he kept everybody except for ones that want to go to the draft. All those guys, I think, except for like 1 or 2, stayed.
Yeah.
After he talked to them. Good. And so that says something. And he's going to bring flip-flop Fridays. Like, you can't be happy with flip-flop Fridays.
It's good. I'm happy for you. Like, I'm glad. Like, it seems like a good fit. It's a hard. There's so many quality coaches in the Big Ten right now. It's hard. Like, you can say we all can say what we want about Harbaugh and disagree with a lot of the things, whatever. He's still a good football coach. I mean, he made it to the Super Bowl. Like, you're not a bad football coach if you're able to do that. I mean, you got Franklin over at Penn State, Ryan Day. Ferentz has been at Iowa forever. and it's fantastic. Nebraska's got a good football coach. It's just not working right now. It just isn't. Northwestern's got Pat Fitzgerald. Rutgers has finally figured it out a little bit with Greg Schiano. Who am I missing up there? Maryland's got a solid football coach up there as well now. Like it's a league full of great coaches, and so it'll be interesting to see.
Well, and Bielema brought up a point. Lovey was trying to recruit like South. Iowa, they know the reason why they run the offense they do is because Iowa has the big boys, and they know that. So they'll get their big boys there and their speed guys elsewhere. So Bielema's like, I know what we're going to get from Illinois. Why don't we just recruit them, embrace what we're getting, and then we go recruit around that.
Yeah.
So he understands it. And I think going to Arkansas, that situation, going to the Pats, helped him change into what it is now. If we would have got Bielema after Arkansas, it wouldn't be like this.
No.
So I think it'll work. It's going to take time. We're not going to come in next year and win a bunch of games. We're just not.
You're not?
No. I mean, we looked good. The spring game, I will say, we looked competent. Like, well, because like with Lovey was just so emotionless. Like on defense, like I remember watching a play where their wide receiver grabbed our corner, threw him down, and caught the ball, and the ref never said anything. And Lovey, instead of like freaking out, he just goes over and talks to him. I'm like, you need to show emotion. You need to be fighting. Like it was just all like no emotion. His press conferences were very like ESPN, like I'm going to say the correct thing. Bielema's going to say what he wants, and how he wants. Like he doesn't care about your feelings, and we need that.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose now. Like this is either going to work or it isn't going to work. This is probably his last shot. In all honesty, with his age and where he's at, like that he'll go back to be a position coach in the NFL. So I mean, it'll be interesting.
It's fine. It's fine with me. I mean, they signed him for 6 years, and then they bumped up the budget. I got to see videos of all their new facilities, and like they're trying.
I think that's what I think that was. I mean, I remember that was the big point of getting him. That was his main negotiating point was increase, and that was Shiana's when he went back up to Rutgers. Was he negotiated that bigger budget as well? It's like if you want to compete, this is where you need to be. This is where the rest of the Big Ten is. So if you're not going to do that, then we can't be successful. And I think and people can decry money in college athletics all they want, but it's like baseball right now. It is 100% like baseball. That everybody's on a different playing field. And you're all playing catch up. And some people can afford it and some people can't. Okay? Not all y'all can be the Yankees. Okay? Mm-hmm. But you can be some of these little mid-level teams that do well enough to bump up and compete for a championship. But you're going to have to spend a little bit more.
Well, that was his exact point, because he's like, look at Ohio State, look at Michigan, look at their facilities. We need facilities. I need coaches. I need this. And the other people he hired outside of the coaching staff just proved how into Illinois he is. Like people that Lovey never hired, that Tim Beckman, who needs to be beat up and hit with a bat, what he did, even Zook, like they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But it was funny. Like when Lovey Smith, I was like, I miss Ron Zook. I never thought I would say that. I had missed Ron Zook during the Lovey times. I wanted Ron Zook back.
Well, the other thing is if you don't invest in your staff, what's going to happen is what's happening in Indiana right now. Like Indiana's winning games and they're losing staff members every year. They lost their strength staff to Alabama 2 years ago. They lost their DC to a head coaching job this offseason. They're losing a couple coaches every year right now. And if you don't pay people, that's what's going to happen.
Well, and then Lovey's first staff was all NFL guys. NFL guys. Didn't work. So we had staff turnover every year. We were changing our offense every year. It was, Tampa 2 or die. And Lovey said that a million times. He's like, no, that's what we're going to do. Tampa 2. And I'm like, that's not going to work in college. You're not going to have a Mike or a Brian Urlacher able to do this. No, it wasn't just Illinois' problem, but it was whatever.
No, there's always a lot of problems with it, and it is what it is. So,
until basketball. Basketball was fantastic. That was fun. Won the Big Ten. Finally won the Big Ten again.
Yeah.
But then we just lost 2 assistant coaches for basketball. They're going to Kentucky.
Yeah, because Kentucky is the Yankees of college basketball. Here's some money. Come here.
But you know what? We need to hire D. Brown and Roger Powell. Get Roger Powell from Gonzaga and hire D. Brown from the University of Chicago.
Good luck with that. Gonzaga is a national powerhouse. Have fun with that.
We can get him. Brad Underwood's great. We can bring Roger Powell over. D. Brown will. He's already here. I can go find him. Right. It's like 30 minutes away from me.
Oh, God.
His high school's up here.
There you go.
Wherever he went to school. It's a rough school, but I told you I'm Joe Rogan. I get off topic. I'm going to talk about.
Hey, last time we got in changes. Last time too. It's fine.
Blame Coach Mack when I talked to him. He was like, I said I had no script, and he goes, "Good, never have a script again." I said, "You got it."
Yeah.
That's why we talked about wrestling and golf.
Yeah. There's no problem wrong with that. When I talked to Coach Bass, I mean, we spent 7 minutes talking about soccer.
Well, that was what I couldn't talk about soccer. I don't know anything.
But that same thing, like I can hit about any topic known to man at this point, just because I don't have like a set like everything. I'm 100% in this outside of football. Like somebody wants to talk something, I probably know a little bit about it and can at least get through a conversation. Like I said, I don't do too much. It's not complicated.
Or like when I had Coach Vin on a couple months ago, we talked football, but then we got a little political. When one of the stimulus packages came out, we talked politics for a little bit. I had to be careful. I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I had to be careful.
Yeah. And the other thing is that Vince is a very educated man too. So he knows he's also in a state where his views align with what the state's views are too. But I mean, it's if you're educated in a subject, that's not a problem. That's where like most of the time, and I might catch fire for this, Joe Rogan is at least read up or educated on the subject. Obviously, lately you could argue he's put his foot in his mouth. It doesn't matter what side of the coin on that you're on, but again, it is what it is. But most of the time, you listen to him, he's read the pros and cons of the subject, and it is what it is. So stuff happens, whatever. Like
now, when that happened, I didn't watch that whole episode. When that happened, because I was like, "What did he say? What was really said?" You need to watch it. They cut out so much of the clip.
Oh yeah, they always do.
Then one of the last ones he just did, he had to he was laughing about it. He goes, "Everyone hates me for what I said, but this is what I meant." So he reset it. He's like, "This is what I said." But he can say that.
Yeah.
I can't. Even though I have half of a chip in my arm right now, I'll get the other half later. They're chipping us.
Oh, that's not my favorite story. The angel or unicorn blood has become my new favorite story with the COVID vaccine.
Oh, I'm still on the chip or the 5G. I'll get 5G soon with what they're putting.
I need 5G after switching to AT&T because I can't find any service in my school building now. I switched from Verizon to AT&T to cut some costs. God, it's like a black. I'm essentially in a black hole for 7 hours a day now. That's how bad AT&T is in my building. Like, it is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Like if I'm in the strip between my school and that gas station by my school, I have no service. I had to literally get like 1.5 miles from the school to get full service again. It is abysmal. It is absolutely abysmal.
You might have to switch to T-Mobile.
Oh God, like it's just bad. So it's also kind of been nice too because I don't have to during the day. I don't have to worry about my phone blowing up, and I even don't even get the emails because I have my school and my personal email accounts connected to my phone. I don't even get the school emails anymore because I was about my own way of checking emails during the day because I don't have time to sit down at my desk, open up and hit refresh and all that crap. So, okay, so-and-so needs this or so-and-so's missing or I need to respond to this email. I don't even get any of that. It's actually been kind of nice. Okay, it's a little annoying at 2 o'clock when I hit refresh and there's 8 emails I got to delete, but whatever. It's kind of it's been interesting.
That happened to my friend. Something happened to his Twitter. It's still there. It's still alive. but he can't open it.
And I've seen you like asking Twitter to fix it. It's like
because he made it with like his college email. So like if he tried to do something, he can't log into it or anything.
yeah.
But he claimed that he was working with Twitter and he was trying to get it to work, but he's like, it's like he didn't do anything. It's not like
Yeah.
we were trying to think of what he said because it was funny because one of the podcasts I did with him, we just raved on about Raising Cane's, which was hilarious.
God bless that place.
Never had it, and we won't because it's just chicken strips. So it's a podcast. You go listen to it. You'll probably stop
It's
listening.
really good chicken strips, though, and it's a really good dip, and it's fantastic bread. Like you're missing out.
Anybody listening, it's an episode. Info strip is what we call it. We took it from InfoWars and call it Info Strip.
Oh, that's funny.
So one day I tagged all of us in it with Raising Cane's Twitter. It was like literally 2 days later when his Twitter did this, and he goes, "Steve, I think you got me kicked off." And I was like, "But why would you get kicked off? I'm the one that said it."
Yeah, it's not it's not that. It's got to be something else.
But it's weird. He can see. So like if I tag him in something, it pops up and says what the tweet is, but he can't click on it and open it.
Has he tried? I'm just going to maybe just ask a dumb question here. Has he tried deleting the app off his phone and re-adding it?
I don't know. I have no idea. But he
claimed, I'm just saying that that sounds like a dumb fix, but sometimes that does work.
I'll have to ask him because then he was saying on Sunday, he was like, without having Twitter, like it's a whole new world out here. But then there's times where he will send me a text. I want to be mad at the world and I need Twitter to go get mad. And this and that. So he's like, it's a whole new world when he's not reading it.
I know what you mean by that because I've had my former boss delete his Facebook. He still has his Twitter, but he deleted his Facebook because he was tired of a lot of the drama on there. And then I had another coach I worked with last year that deleted his Facebook and his Twitter. And it's gone over a year without any. He just talks about how much better it is. I just can't because I got me and you really can't because we have our shows, we have our stuff, and that's Facebook and Twitter are my main way of reaching out to people and so people can see stuff. Especially Facebook. Facebook and their football groups are a godsend for what I do. So I can't necessarily give that up. But again, that 7 hours a day now that I have where my phone isn't blowing up nonstop, it's kind of nice. The only time it sucks is when I need to get home my wife and send her a text. I can't because I have no service. That's been my only complaint the past 2 days. And dealing with this stuff is I have to pretty much go outside and try to find that exact spot to just get the text out, and she will probably get 2 copies of the text about 30 minutes later.
So you're doing like what we did in high school, where you have to hold the flip phone up, like on the bus or something.
I sure have been. They've seen me in the hallway doing it. Like,
what is he doing? Well, when we were kids, we had to hold it up and like try to get service.
Yeah, well, that's been my past 2 days for when I need to send a message to her or somebody in our building because it's for something. So it's what it is. So it ain't the end of the world, but it's actually been kind of nice not having that stuff. I don't know.
I thought the same thing when he said that. I was like, I used to use social media just for sports updates. Anything sports, that's where I got it. But then over the past years, it got political.
Oh, yeah.
Since like 2014, 15, it was real political. Didn't want to do it anymore, but I still needed the sports. Then I started the podcasting. I was like, well, now I need it even more. So now it's opened it up to where I see it every day. And especially school now, because we get done at 12:59 and we're done. I have to sit in the building till 3.
Okay.
So guess what I do?
Yeah.
There's no work. Joe Rogan, and I look at Twitter, social media. Joe Rogan and that.
I get
School district's going to hear me say that, and it's fine. I don't care. There's nothing to do.
They'd have to get 37 minutes into a random podcast. So I think you'll be fine.
They might. I don't know. Maybe my comments on Sunday might start. I don't.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Everyone else got to set things on fire.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to set stuff on fire.
Oh, I would never do it. Like, do you listen to Tim Dillon at all?
I do not.
If you like dark humor, where you laugh at it and you go, "Why am I laughing at this?" But it is actually funny. He's been on like 8 of Joe Rogan's podcasts, and he has his own. It's funny. That's where we got it from. He gets into like an Airbnb war, like, and he claims he's going to blow up their house. Like, that's where I got it from.
Can I just say everybody and their brother has a damn podcast now, by the way?
Yeah.
I mean, I was, God, did you ever watch Smallville?
A little bit.
You remember the guy who played Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
He has a podcast now.
Jesus. He does. Have you seen the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah.
The guy that got hit in the face with the wrench. What's his name? He has a podcast. I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, for some reason the Smallville guys, they popped up on my YouTube feed. I don't even know why. And it had the guy was having the guy who played his dad on Smallville on that day. That played. I was like, oh damn, and I thought that was very interesting. But I had seen the Smallville guy on some of the other stuff. I think he'd been on. Oh God, what's his face? Oh, comedian. Oh, I can't remember who it is. I'm actually gonna look that up while I talk to you. Oh God, who is it? I don't remember who it is, but he's been on a couple podcasts with some other people before, so it kind of makes sense that he would jump on. And but again, everybody, our market has become very saturated for both of us. Like you do a variety of things. You talk to football coaches a lot. But you also have your comic stuff. You have your Sunday show, but I mean, even our stuff, there's quite a few of us that do stuff. I know there's several other people thinking about adding stuff but again, some of these people will learn that it's not an easy market necessarily to break into, and it's going to take some grind and some work. That it is a day, you're not going to jump to Joe Rogan fame overnight.
No, my podcast is not doing hot. It did there for a little bit, then it just tempered off. Now I know it's because the world opened up, so people are doing things again. They're not going to sit there and listen. I wasn't pumping out. Those Sunday shows are slapdick sessions. It's not something people are going to listen to all the time.
Yeah.
And there's the algorithm. I don't understand how that works. On YouTube, I didn't know you could put tags on there, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh yeah, I tagged the crap out stuff. But even my stuff, my Kick and Cover podcast is not skyrocketing numbers and that, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is to spread special teams knowledge. But I'm not in this for Joe Rogan fame. I mean, it'd be nice. I'm not saying it wouldn't. $100 and whatever $1 million Spotify deal would be fantastic, but I could put my mother's name on a field if I wanted to at that point. But it is what it is. But that's what people need to understand. The other thing is what's really helped is it's got really cheap to get into podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, it was not cheap to get into podcasting to do it right. Now you can do it with a phone, with ease. I'm we're talking. I'm on my phone right now. Zoom is for the most part free, or you're cut at 45 minutes. If you got StreamYard, if you get that the right time, you can get it for free or extremely reduced price. The microphones aren't expensive anymore. My biggest expense with all my YouTube stuff is a software I originally bought, but I've got my money's worth in a year and a half out of it. So you might have to buy a new computer. That's it.
And then I use Audacity. So I take the audio from here, go to Audacity. I just YouTube how to do it. It just makes it a little louder and clear, and that's it.
Yeah.
And Audacity is free. And you have to edit stuff more than I do. StreamYard, if I put up the intro, I'm done. That's all I need. I probably should clip in here some sponsors from the sports network, but I'm just too lazy. So I'm just here we go. Go listen to the audio if you want the sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel right when it's because of COVID, that's why it's shot up. And then when you listen to these Joe Rogan or Tim Dillon's a comedian, and his podcast his YouTube gets 600,000 listens, 500,000 listens an episode. So he's been doing it for a while. They even said they're like people that are in entertainment needed the podcast or they were going to lose their minds. And then that's where they do their comedy now is podcast. So it was just shot up.
Yeah.
I feel like right when we all started, then it just shot up.
Oh no, it did, and that was because of COVID. The podcast that Rosenbaum was always on was Tiger Belly, by the way.
Mm.
That's who he was always. He did like 4 or 5 episodes for Tiger Belly. I still can't remember that comedian's name to save my life. God. Oh. So yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's interesting that things are opening up, but even then, like when I started a year ago, the football YouTube. If you're just talking clinics, there was some stuff here and there, but where it is now a year later, I mean, there's a bunch of us that do stuff. The great thing, I'll say this, the great thing about our community is how well we work together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truly it is like, obviously me, you, Sheffer constantly talk and share ideas and guests and all that stuff. But even like I talk to Kenny Simpson on a decent regular basis, Anthony Stone with his back to basics stuff. Coach Vass I've talked to a couple of times. Hey, I've sent him messages. Sam Mallard's had me on do his chalk war thing, and there's a bunch of other ones who've started their own channels who have some stuff on there. Some go to a high level and overdo it like me, and try to post 4 or 5 things a week and do too much. And there's others I'll post like one thing every now and then. And then I will also say real quick on here, #free Nickadoody. And
they're coming after Mackey. They're coming after Mackey.
Again. I'm just saying, free my boy Kadudi. Leave my boy Mackey alone. I like.
Could you see him post that? He got an email about one of his things, and he's like, "So it begins."
No, I'm not. Like,
they're gonna come after me. I put up something with Auburn months ago. All 2023. They're gonna come after me now.
That's why I have one video on there with some Iowa stuff, but I've not done any more of that for that reason, because I don't want to mess with it. I unfortunately have to edit a lot of that stuff out of their video. Like, I talked to a coach today and I want to take out a portion. I'll probably throw that stuff I have to cut out on the Patreon, and do it through Vimeo, just because it's not worth the headache. Like, I don't want all that stuff to just be taken down and then have to upload it somewhere else, and coaches lose the resource, and like, it's just dumb. I get it to a point, but it's stupid, and that's my opinion on it. And I really don't care if people agree with me. But free Nickadoody and leave Mackey alone. What? I like Nick. Nick's been good to me.
No.
Like, I mean, and so is Ron. Ron's come on, talked to me before, and he'll answer questions why send a DM, and like said.
No, I'm laughing because how stupid it is for this film to be quote unquote free, and then someone comes along and claims it and like does a lawsuit like to get rid of it.
Well, the dumbest part about this whole situation, and I don't care if I get flagged or blacklisted, I really don't, because I'm a high school coach right now, and even if I ever get into college, whatever, these companies don't realize how much dang money they can make if they would put a subscription service out there for high school and middle school coaches. They would make an obscene amount of money. You could charge $100 a year. Mm-hmm. Hell, you could go like Amazon level, like 180, and most of us would pay it. Yeah, and they'll say you want it like to have act, because there's like 2 or 3 companies that do it. We would pay it. We would find a way to pay it. Our boosters would pay it. Some you could make good, like, stupid money.
So like, what was I going to say? Like Coach Carrick does the Flexbone 101. I forgot to ask him. Are they going to come after him? Because he takes.
Yeah.
But I think he gets his from YouTube, so he just goes on YouTube and does it.
Yeah, which would be a travesty because he puts out some good stuff too. Like, and of course you had to bring up the Flexbone stuff. Your ideology there. Oh, by the way, it might be one of the most pleasurable things I do in a day. Anytime you post something, I get to say that you're a Flexbone guy, even though I know you're not. it gets so much pleasure just to type that in there, just to mess with you. It just makes me feel good.
Make me look bad in front of an air raid OC. Like it just.
And it what would make it laugh even more is if Brett Bielema saw that, was like, oh, I might jump in there. Flex bone. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, the one guy I'd love to have on there, not going to.
Yeah, like in all honesty, Bielema would be a great get for you, because I bet he would be a fantastic podcast guest.
I'm not big enough. See, like you can do it, I can't do it.
Oh no, I can't get head coaches. I can get like some coordinators who I have like associated friends with. I can get those people, and that's not even a guarantee. I get a lot of they ignore my messages. I got Brent Dearman because of a friend. As an example, Hal Mummy, I got lucky there. I just shot Hal a message and he responded. Got lucky. That's just is what it is. Bud Foster, I sent an email to shot in the dark. He's retired. Okay. But that's luck. That is luck, or I know somebody. That's really what that is. Like when I got Ted Rath, the strength guy for the Eagles, I got that because my buddy knows him well. And they go back several years. That's why I got him. Like you look at my thing, a lot of it's either I knew the person or somebody I knew them, and that's helped a lot. And otherwise, it's cold shots in the dark. I could show you a DM section on here and on Facebook of things where they've read my message and then not ever messaged me back, and it's fine. Like I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. There's only one that's agitated me at the moment. And that's the New England Patriots not responding to my message after I got one of their coaches to commit to coming on. Okay. I would like just a common cursing no would be appreciated. But it is what it is. That's fine. I get it. You're an NFL franchise. I have 2,600 YouTube subscribers. You have that fill up your stadium in a matter of seconds. Okay, I get it. But
well, I'll just tweet at Bill. I'll tweet at Bielema. He knows the Patriots. I'll just tweet at him.
Yeah, because that'll work. That's like that. The only time that's actually worked for me is tweeting at somebody is getting Don Brown, and that the only regret with the Don Brown interview is how much lag we had on the Zoom. But that was one of the happiest experiences. I don't get giddy over many people. I really don't. Don Brown was probably like one of the ones. And it's not because he's a coordinator at Division I school. That's fantastic. His personality is what made it giddy. Like the man is intense. Like I don't know how many times I've watched that solve your problems with aggression little 15-second meeting thing over and over again. I really don't. I love it. I love the personalities is what I love. That's why I tell kids in my classroom all the time, if you can make me laugh, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be in with me. Like it's not hard. Like I love personalities, and that's just who I am. And so yeah, that's me. Like I'm working on Matt Drinkle. I would really like to get him on. I would love to get the offensive line coach at Kent State on, but he blew out both his quads. So it's been scheduling not been ideal. Those are two of the main ones I want to really get on. Obviously, there's somebody from the Patriots I'm trying to get on. I'm not going to put all that out there, but if I could get that to work, that would be dream come true. Is there anybody else? If I get somebody from either Texas State or UTSA, that'd be awesome. I really like both those schools. I love San Antonio in general. San Antonio is by far my favorite city. Food, weather, people. So those two are high on my list. And then if somehow I could get like the DC from Wisconsin, that's the other. Like Jim Leonard's a stud. And then Pat Fitzgerald would be fantastic as well. Pat is like, you want to talk about somebody who builds culture and can run an organization. That's what college football programs are. They're an organization. Okay, we can stop. I mean, everything's a business. Like before somebody gets on there, well, college sports is business. Everything's a business. High school teaching, high school is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a business. It's just how well it's an organizational structure and how well it's run. And from an organizational structure standpoint, Pat Fitzgerald, I will argue, runs it about as well as anybody in college athletics.
Yep. I would love to have Dearman on. Mike Leach.
Oh yeah, that actually no, I forgot one. You just made me remind me of my actual absolute dream, Lane Kiffin.
And Lane Kiffin. Oh,
that's the dream. And really, in honesty, the super dream is get him and Nick Rolovich at the same time. That's the super dream.
That's
like
yeah.
those two at the same time, because I know that would be fantastic.
I want Mike Leach on. I wouldn't even talk football. I would bring up conspiracy theories and get him going.
Oh, see, like same thing. You say the same thing with Lane Kiffin, though. Like Lane Kiffin wouldn't even have to be football oriented.
No,
you just got to drop the term like rat poison, and like I in honesty, like I would love to hear stories from Lane Kiffin's childhood. In honesty, like growing up with dad being a coach, I bet that would be fantastic. Get the Monty on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love, like some of these older coaches, I would love to just go and just tell stories. Because every time I work somewhere, I love sitting and talking to the older coaches because they have great stories, especially guys who coach in like the late '80s, early '90s. They have some good stuff that is just yeah.
And Bielema, of course. You got to get Bielema on there. Oh, someone's calling me. No, I don't care. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Maybe it's contact tracing. Who knows?
Yeah. And then the only other scheme one I would absolutely love to get is probably Jay Bateman at North Carolina. I think what he does defensively is very good. But yeah, I mean that's a long. I mean, there's a bunch of other guys I could list on there. I mean, Rocky Long, Danny Gonzalez, Herm Edwards would be another great one. And Herm Edwards, I would film Herm Edwards for my personal finance class and just let him talk life. Just talk life, like, because that's who he is. Like, but that again, those are like personal wish list. Like, yay. People I think would be interesting. That just, I mean, like in your same way. Like, if you could get Joe Rogan on, like that would be a dream come true. Like, and honestly, Joe Rogan would not out his crew would not be my dream person out of his like group of 5. I would want Joey Diaz on. I would like it would be the greatest thing ever because I've seen Joey live. Oh my god, like the man is fantastic. He's probably one of the most underrated comedians. He is hilarious.
I would love you. Got to listen to Tim Dillon. I'd love Tim Dillon as a coach. I'd love Ed to talk to Ed. Just like watching all the Pardon My Take stuff with him, I could do that.
Yeah,
I'd love to talk to him. The Coach Steve Show is sponsored by the Launchpad Kickoff Tee. If you're a football coach out there, high school, college, NFL, doesn't matter, and you're looking for that edge for your special teams, for your kicker, for the kickoff, onsides, you guys need to go to launchpadkickoff.com. If you have a younger guy trying to develop the kicker, you want the ball to get to the end zone, you need to go to Launchpad Kickoff Tee. This tee gives a coach a strategic options for squib kicks, onsides, everything. It is proven that your kicker will kick off farther. It is legal for NCAA, for high school. Okay. The Launchpad Kickoff Tee is a game changer. So if you go to launchpadkickoff.com/CSS to use the code CSS, you can get a Launchpad Kickoff Tee for 10% off. So go to launchpadkickoff.com/CSS. You can use the code CSS for the Coach Steve Show to get 10% off. Also, there's a bundle. You can get 1 for 10% off. You can go to 2 and get more % off. Or there's an option to buy 4. If you click the option to buy the 4 kickoff tees, if you like it so much, when you use the code CSS, you'll get the 4th one free. So instead of paying full price for all 4, you'll get 3. So go to launchpadkickoff.com/CSS, use the code CSS, get 10% off, buy 4 to get the 4th one free. This is a game changer, guys. It does more than just hold your balls. Go get the Launchpad Kickoff Tee today to give your kicker an edge for next season. He's under fire right now, but I'd love to talk to him.
Minor details. Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah. But I think Joey Diaz out of that crew would be the dream. That's
Or Alex Jones. Let's get Alex Jones. That's what I've been listening to again. I had to go back. I opened up all these conspiracy theory stuff. So let me go back and listen. But they took his very first one off of Spotify.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can only find the other two.
A former head coach I used to work for, he's a history teacher. He started a conspiracy in Washington class that they offered for as an elective semester elective. He really dug it. He took the kids in a lot of different directions. So I thought it was always interesting.
I got into that and serial killers.
You sound like my wife. My wife's been watching that stuff like crazy. She watched the not necessarily serial killers, but like murder shows and solving like what the Lacey Peterson thing. She watched the whole Netflix series on that the other day.
We watched the Ted Bundy thing again. Rewatched that one. We're watching Unmasking a Killer. It's on HBO. What's another one? There's been a couple. Oh, the Night Stalker. The Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
Just boom, 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 boom. And then I realized every serial killer comes from California or the Northwest. Go.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't disagree with you.
But that was my question. Why do they come from California? I got a text.
I don't know.
I got to text Hines and tell him to be careful because they all come from California.
See, Hines would have been on that list, but I've had Hines on, and Hines is fantastic to talk to too. He is genuinely a good human being. If there, I don't know him outside of a couple times I talked to him, but he is generally just a good person. So yeah, I don't. That's another one.
Well, see, you have the bigger platform though, so I think you'll get more yeses. Me, I don't know, because I have two questions, I guess. One, do you ever sleep because of all this stuff?
About 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours a night, and it's usually not well. I haven't slept well in years, so this is the honest answer.
So you're used to it.
Yeah, a lot of energy drinks too.
Well, I had to quit for a little bit, and I'm back. Football happened, basketball happened, track happened. I was like, energy drinks, I have to go back. So I'm back on the energy drink kick. Because every day it's like, oh, here's things from Coach Bandstra. There's 5 different videos every day.
I've only posted 4 a week right now. This isn't like peak COVID when I was posting 4 a day. It's 4 a week. It's a special teams podcast on Monday, a gap down backer on Tuesday, and then a Thursday and a Saturday. And that could be a clinic or another gap down backer. Usually, probably the rest of the month, it'll probably be a clinic and then a gap down. Like I said, I got a lot of gap downs I got to get out. I'm filmed through the end of August now. And coaches said they wanted them during the season, so I'm obliged to that because otherwise I was going to stop. I was going to be done. But now I got to at least get through November. So I got some filming next week. I got to start prepping for the All-Star game I'm coaching, and then get ready for our season. But yeah.
But yeah, you have a knack or a thing like you ask coaches come on and present something. See, for me, I have nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, just come talk to me.
Well, it depends. Like I haven't all the clinics I filmed essentially in December, January, February. After the podcast, I tell them if you want to bring stuff, bring stuff. If you don't, you don't. We can just talk. You can show visuals. Like Hal just told stories.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Rudolph, who has become a decent friend, the offensive line coach at Ohio University, who you will see me tweet #GOAT for offensive line play all the time because I think he's one of the best in the game. Brings in more clips than we can show. Me and him could sit there for 5 hours. But it just depends on the guy. Like LaRossi, who I talked to today, he brought a small little thing. I'm working on getting Nick Davis back on. I don't know if he's going to bring something. Runda, when I talked to him last, didn't bring anything, and I didn't ask him. Like, I was like, if you want to bring stuff, bring stuff. Like, that's up to you. Like, I'm not going to peer pressure. I just want to talk football and talk to people. I like this. I like this interaction stuff. I probably get a little bit bad rap in my building because I'm in the hallway a lot, or if I have a free moment, I'm wandering around. One, I can't sit still. Two, I like social interaction. I was not always like this. I was a lot more reserved in high school. I wasn't fully, but part of that is when you move every 2.5 years up into high school, it's hard to be socially outgoing. At this point, I can talk to about anybody. I can find common ground. I am pretty, like you talked about politics earlier. I'm like a 90s politician where you could have a civil conversation and negotiate stuff. Like I used to love politics, like was hardcore in politics. I used to watch, and this will give away some of my politics a little bit, and people don't like it. I really don't care. I used to watch Bill Maher every Friday. But the political atmosphere has gotten so toxic. I can't stand it. I don't look at the news. I don't listen to stuff anymore. I am fairly moderate on most issues. But it's so divisive. I like I said, I remember a time when people can negotiate stuff. If you can agree on it, negotiate the rest of the package, leave that stuff alone. Like it's not there are simple ways to fix things, and it just get ignored because of money. So it's just a toxic environment.
Yeah, I'd love to talk politics, but if you say something, it means one way when you don't mean it that way, or you're wrong
Yeah.
and can't do it. What was I gonna say? You should get Coach. I can't say his name now. I had him on the podcast. Coach Yanuel. I can't say his name. He's the OC at St. Xavier University here. He's NAIA school.
I had his line coach. I still got edit that one. I think that's Max Stevenson. I have him on. But they're I know. Like again, kind of like we talked about. We all kind of share guests. Like, well, I mean, we'll send stuff to each other and go.
When I had him on, I tell people he whipped my ass talking football offense, just like ripped it, because he's asking questions. Now I'm a visual guy, so I have to like draw it up. I can't just talk about it.
Yeah.
He was just blurting stuff out and how he reads things and this and that. And I'm like, oh, and Stevenson told me, he's like, hey, afterwards, I told him that. And he goes, yeah, he's one of the smartest football coach he's ever talked to, ever.
Yeah.
He's an air raid guy, but like the way he explains it is different than I've heard. And then, like, for example, he's like, Steve, what offense you guys going to run? I was like, well, we're going to be in shotgun, we'll spread it out, but we're going to bring a tight, like this year we had a tight end and an H-back. We did all that stuff. He goes, that's not spread. In his world, it's a 2x2 or 3x1. Everybody's out. That's spread. When you bring a running back in, when you bring a hand down tight end, that is no longer spread. So we had to talk about that. And then we talked about how he reads even his white crosses and his stick concept. I try to tell him how a stick concept, you could make an RPO. And we talked about that. And he was just explaining how it can't work. It was just all this stuff. And I'm like, Jesus. We could have gone on for like 3 hours.
Well, that's how it was with the OU line coach. I mean, we could have gone 5 hours on pass pro. And I'm talking like 5 and 6 man pass pro, not or like half slide, half man. Nothing like earth shattering. Like it's solid. It's good stuff. It's simple, but like we're not even getting to some more of the complex stuff. And it's like the good coaches can just do that for hours.
Yep. But going back to real quick, I know you probably have to go soon, about your guests. Like I said, you have that thing. I don't. But I will say this, like, I was trying to get Coach Gardner on. He was supposed to come on Thursday, but scheduling, we have to reschedule it. He was like, what do you want me to talk about? And I was like, I have nothing. We're just going to go off the cuff. And he goes, I prefer it. And I was like, all right, let's go.
I love messaging him. He's one of my favorite people to talk to generally. Just for the fact he's blunt, he's honest. I love his cover 2 and barbecue stuff. I think it's some very interesting stuff. And he's just a genuine good person. Again, at this point, I don't care about anybody's politics. I don't care if you're left, right, middle. I want to know if you're a good person. And he is one of those people in our profession that seem like genuinely a good person. And he's funny as hell. He just is. and he's just and he likes food, and you're in my world if you like food. Like, I mean, he shows me some of the stuff he makes. Yeah. So that's my
I never messaged him to do it because there's some people on social media I get nervous about. I'm like, I can't have a conversation with them because they'll just rip my ass because I'm not smart enough. Coach Mallard asked me to do the chalk talk thing, and I need to respond to him. I'm a jerk. I'm like, I'm not confident enough because I don't know how this is going to look. Coach Vass, like you said, I feel like I could never have a conversation with him because he would think I'm stupid. I'm not smart like everybody else in football. I'm very stupid, simple, like stupid.
I survived that conversation with him. Is how I word it. Like, he is and he tells it, because my first question to Coach Vass is why are you so smart? That was literally and it threw him off a little bit, and because it comes down to he spends it's his job.
Mm-hmm.
It generally is, because that's how he makes his income, is through his Patreon and through his podcast. And so he is. I avoided certain subjects because I knew I'd get lost if I didn't. And I'll say this to the Mallard thing. I would say do it because I'm not an X and O's guru by any means. I don't pretend to be. I don't sit here and I am. I listen to a bunch of smart people. But it's a fun time. And I think he's smart in how he puts people together. Like, he's not going to put you against Coach Vass. Like, he
I would literally pull out Mike Leach's playbook and be like, "This is what I'm doing."
he's not going to do that. Like, he's going to balance it up. Like, he puts like state champions against state champions, long-time coaches against long-time. Like, he does a good job. Coach Mallard does a very good job, and I would highly recommend it. I know mine's coming. I don't know when mine's coming out. I got sent the graphic today. He asked me if this would look good, and I said sure. I was like, I don't personally, Coach. I don't care. Like, if you like it, that's what matters. It's your show. Do it. Just don't make me look like a complete idiot, and we're good. And we had fun with it, and I got to go against Coach Chuda and talk a little wing T, which I'm not running as an OC.
There you go.
But despite my reputation as a under center and wing T guy, that is not what we were running. So if somebody wants to wait an hour and 8 minutes into a podcast to figure out what I'm running that we're playing this year, I really don't care. I'm still going to power at your face and you're going to cry. That's my philosophy on it. Don't suck.
Hey, that's what you'll be proud of us this year. I got him. We got hand down tight end, H back. We ran power. We ran ISO. I finally got inside zone put in. Even at the end of the year, we put pin and pull in.
You're going to be happy about this. Inside zone is growing on me. We won't run it this year.
Now wait, which way though?
Oh God, I was listening to who you need to reach out to. Here's a guy you need to reach out to. You need to reach out to Andy Prevost. He's the offensive line coach at South Dakota. Very good guy. Well, loves talking football. He has a very simple count system. They run inside zone like 2-3 different ways, but his man inside zone, his count system is stupid simple, and I love it. I truly do. We'll run more power counter, pin and pull this year than anything. But zone is growing on me. I'll at least say that openly, especially after talking to him and then talking to Brent Dearman, who is just stupid smart.
You remember when Brent Dearman said, "Hey, inside zone, we're double teaming. This is inside zone." I sat up. I was like, "Where's Bandstra and where's Sheffer?" I saw the names. I was like, "Hold on, did we hear that?"
Well, we're there. Me and Sheffer were texting back and forth during it, and I would love, honestly, at Chalkware, I would love to see Brent Dearman versus Coach Vass. I think that would be fire.
See, I want to send Dearman a message because he won't remember this. He sent me his book for free.
Yeah.
I had messaged.
No. He will respond. He responds. Now, the thing I will tell you this, and I don't look, whatever, but you have to give him the dates and times.
Gotcha.
You can't just like, okay, whenever and a lot of these college coaches are this way. Like, I've learned doing this, you have to hound coaches. Whether you want to come see them, jump on a Zoom with them, schedule them for like something like we do, private thing, doesn't matter. You have to hound them, and you're going to look annoying, and occasionally they may block you. That's fine, but you have to hound people. I am hounding a Division I offensive coordinator right now. I am sending him stuff weekly, okay, because I really want him on, and so we'll see what happens there. But it's our profession. They're busy. Okay. But guess what? Recruiting opens up here in 26 days. So I'm out of time.
Yeah, that's true. If I didn't have football and track, I would have reached out more to people. I just had no time. Now I got time. Well, like I was supposed to have Sheffer on this week. Something happened. Supposed to have Gardner on. Something happened. Mackey's going to come back.
Good.
I was just trying to be funny with him. I've talked to him for a couple of years. That's why I got funny on Twitter. I tagged him. I was like, what are the odds I can convince him to come back to talk marble and football? And I put the gif of saying this is peer pressure. And I'm like, he's going to block me one of these days. He's going to have enough.
He'll be fine.
He's coming back. Gardner, I'm excited for because I think I have the courage to talk to him now.
Oh, he's great. Like I said, I love talking to Cody. Cody is fantastic.
I'm just gonna ask people to come back. That's what I'm gonna ease back. I'm gonna ease my way back in.
Now, when we get done recording here in about a minute or two, I'll give you a little hint on how to get a couple more people. So, yeah.
Well, then we got to get the band back together. We got to get back with Sheffer and Bennett.
Yes, Sheffer texted me the other day, like, we need to get the band back together while we were sitting in that clinic. I'm like, yeah, you need to let me know. I can film a couple things this summer. I have no problem doing that. We can do like some preview shows or something. Like, so.
He was supposed to come on yesterday. Something happened, and so it's fine. I was going to ask him beard product stuff too. It was this whole thing.
He's all in love with it, and I love it. That's why I told him, trust your gut. Go with it. Who cares? Like, here's the thing. Who cares if other people like it or not? Do you like talking about it? Then there you go. That's like special team stuff. None of those episodes are ever going to have 18,000 views. But guess what? I enjoyed talking to every single one of those guests and had fun with it. So that's what matters.
And then before we stop, the reason why I was laughing is because there was a point where I laughed because Sheffer was put just every day. He was like, I just talked to 3 or 4 different coaches. I was laughing. Then you started to post like things every day. And I'm like, I am falling behind. But then I was like, who's going to top Sheffer? And then you came out with all your stuff. I was like, oh, that's topping it. Then here I am every Sunday talking about.
Oh, don't challenge me, dude. Like that's not a life choice. Like,
no, I'm not challenging. I'm not going to challenge anybody.
I set a goal to beat one YouTube channel. I've beaten them now. I've set a goal to beat the next YouTube channel. I've set like just because it motivates me. I don't really care if I do, but I'm motivated by competition. That's my general motivation.
Well, so the YouTube wasn't hard.
Goals,
I'm not big. YouTube didn't bother me. I just put them up on YouTube just because.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm more about the audio, but I know there has to be video. I'm more about the audio for some reason. So I'm not trying to beat anybody. I was just laughing because there was a point where Sheffer was doing a lot of stuff, and then I was kind of doing that. And then you came in, and I stopped, and you just kept going and going and going. Then Sheffer kind of stopped, and I was like, "Oh, he's way up here." And I was like, "Here I am every Sunday having a slapdick fest. We're just arguing back and forth." Then I have to bring up LeBron James every so often about how he sucks. Like that's just what happens.
Oh, I'm a Kobe lifer, so there we go.
Same. And Marvel, and then I have a Marvel thing, Geek Corner. We came up with the thing called Geek Corner.
There you go. And you got to find things you love and enjoy it. Film it and have fun with it. The community will grow.
I enjoy the Geek Corner because my geek side comes out.
Good. Focus on that then. Have fun with it. Talk your Illinois stuff on the weekends and do your Geek Corner and enjoy life.
That's what it is. I think that's all I had. Besides, I wanted to know if you slept. Seeing all that stuff, he doesn't
5-6 hours, depending on the night. It's not like continuous. I wake up a lot. Like I woke up an hour in last night, then I woke up 30 minutes later, then I woke up about 3 hours later, and then about 2 hours later I got out of bed.
And I'm just proud you're gonna run inside zone. That's
not this year. Eventually, but not this year.
Just double teams. You will hear we did double teams. Then we saw it before we get off. We saw a ton of 3-3 this year. I've never seen so much 3-5 in my life. And so I had to go back to the old way of like everybody's going to step to the right and left.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the pin and pull, we put that in. Like it just
Okay.
came. I was like, we have to because we started to get lazy. That's why I don't like the tradition. I don't like because offensive line take that as an excuse to just take a play off. So I was like, we have to put pin and pull in. And they got excited. Like my center was a senior. He got to pull. He was so excited and it worked. I mean, we put up 50 points our last game. Like it was just this crazy thing of like the first game with pin and pull. It was like a 25-yard run. It was a
Great
25-yard
scheme.
run.
Speaking of pin and pull, I released a video today on it. So just if anyone wants to check that out, if anybody gets to this point in the podcast, check out the pin and pull video. It's on my channel by Pat Taylor, Kutzman University.
Yeah, I have to watch it because how I did it was so simple. Oh, we called pin and pull to the right. Is there a guy to your left? No, you're pulling. If there's a guy to your left, you're down blocking. Like that's how easy I had to make it.
Yeah.
And it worked. The kids, they picked up on it. They were like, "Oh, okay."
All right.
So if it's pin and pull left, and there's a guy to your right, what do you do? And they're like, "Well, we down block." I'm like, "There you go." If there's nobody to your right, what's going to happen? Well, I'm pulling. I'm like, "Yeah, you're pulling."
Yeah.
Then the center's eyes got like this, all happy. He was like, "I get to pull." I was like, "Yeah." He's a senior, and he's like, "I was like, yeah."
That's funny.
Oh, and every single game this year, I had a different offensive line starting lineup.
Oh, it's always fun.
Yep. Spring break, family vacations that got canceled last year that they can't get their money back, so they had to go this year.
Oh, don't get me. Yeah, that's a whole nother mess. So,
yeah, that was the last thing I want to tell you. I'm proud for Inside Zone. Just get it. Because you heard Brent Dearman.
Oh, that him and the South Dakota O-line coach were the two biggest influencers. I'll just let you know that. So,
all right, well, that's all I got, I think.
I'm good, Coach.
All right, I appreciate you.
No problem, Coach.
Go Illini.